started thinking I wanted to do this video stuff is I try to watch these programs on PBS or whatever,
Yep.
and dissect them, and it's really hard because I mean, like this thing is such a fabulous story. You get lost in the story, and you quit looking at it as a learning tool.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool to have that same everything you just did, stopping it in places with maybe written comments like, I just asked this question, whatever, and breaking that thing up in its segments and having this incredible learning tool. That would be so interesting.
I've been thinking about putting this course online to do exactly that. But to be honest with you, it seems to me that you can't replace personal contact with something you get online.
I agree, but I guess what I'm thinking is like even a piece for this class where, I mean, I thought it was so inspirational to watch this and have you, and as you said, it was a good learning tool, a perfect example of all these things you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be really neat to be able to take this out of here and then sit down and dissect it just like you were doing with us, and having comments on the film itself about,
Yeah.
I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I mean, and part of the reason I explain that is that you get so wrapped up in the story. I've never
Yeah.
seen that piece, and the story was incredible. You forget about the learning aspect.
That's right,
of it.
yeah. Everything that I've been talking to you guys about in the last 3.5 days is here. This film embodies everything that I'm trying to get you to understand, and particularly this phase of the film that we're in now. So, please, and again, I know some of you want to do it a certain way, you've done it a certain way, just put that aside for a bit, and just, trust me, talk to the pictures. Lay the pictures out like cards and tell your nephew, listen, Johnny, this picture shows this, and this picture shows that, and this picture shows that. That's going to be your narration. That's going to be your narration. I want to talk with any other questions about this film?
Well, I just have a question, and it has to do with, I kept struggling with this in mind, of taking myself out. Like at the very beginning you said, and there's a question here,
Mm-hmm.
and it is, and you said what the question was.
Mm-hmm.
So you allowed yourself to be in this piece.
Absolutely.
And there were a few other places where you were talking
about
your experience being there. So it wasn't like you had to just sort of be in the background trying to make this thing unfold on its own, which I'm finding really challenging.
Go ahead.
So I was just wondering, like things that come up are like, so I asked Jenna, why make paper or something like that? Can that be your narration?
Yeah, absolutely.
It can?
Absolutely. I mean, all of these different shops have different styles, and these guys, the people on now, they think that this, this familiar style allows viewers to feel like they're participating in the piece, or they're involved in the piece, engaged in the piece at a level deeper than some other styles. So, they say, insert yourself into the thing. They've even had me insert my opinion into the thing sometimes. Let's hear you asking this question. You can hear me a couple of times here. Hey, Lieutenant, what's going on now? And he goes, well, you can see that long wall over there. So that's okay. That's okay.
It's very much like in a book where the author
tells me on one of his few days off, it's like seeing an old novel when they're past the
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you should. Were you saying Nancy?
Nancy, you were saying something?
No, I was just because this medium is new for me. I find it almost like a book, like when the author takes you by the hand. So call me Ishmael, and you know that you're going to go with him, and that's the voice of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's the way I think about it.
And one thing too, like as you guys go forward, not just today, but after this class, when you're showing these pieces to your friends, your family, and stuff like that, listen to everything that they say. Drop the defensiveness and listen, because you can't go with your film and replace somebody's going to see it. You have to answer those questions before you send your film out into the world. Find your trusted friends, people that you agree with, and even people that you think that aren't the brightest, apple in the orchard, and show it to them and see what they did not get. And then try to address that, because the more you address it now, the less that people will criticize you later. Because when it comes down to it, it's all about making the best film that people can understand what you want to say.
Any other questions about this before we move on? Bill, you and I were talking about, both Bill and Ted and I were talking about things that we want to raise this last day. Are we missing anything? Is there something we should be talking about now?
No, I think we're good.
I think as you go forward, just go back to this so what, this controlling idea. That should be the goal of the day. You should make this thing a story that is isolated by itself. You don't have